Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me closely. You're not stuck with the brain you have today. In fact, you can rewire it, starting right now. Let me show you how. Every single thought you have, every habit you repeat, every goal you chase, it's all shaped by one thing: your brain. But here's what most people don't know. Your brain is not fixed. It's not locked in. It's plastic, meaning it can change. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. That means your brain can grow stronger, sharper, and more successful if you give it the right tools. Let's unlock those secrets one by one. Your brain can be rewired. You can train your brain just like a muscle. Repetition, focus, and environment shape your neural circuits. The problem is, most people train their brains by accident. They scroll, they react, they live in distraction. And over time, that becomes their wiring. But you can flip the switch. Start feeding your brain focus, purpose, discipline. Repetition with intention. Small habits done daily reshape your identity. Light is more powerful than you think. Want to boost your mood, sharpen your focus, and sleep better. Here's something you can do tomorrow morning. Get sunlight in your eyes within 30 minutes of waking up. Why? Because light triggers a biological clock in your brain. It sets your energy rhythm for the entire day. It boosts cortisol in the right amount to make you alert, and it helps you sleep better that night. It's free. It's easy. And almost nobody does it. Sleep is not rest. It's reset. You don't grow in the gym. You grow while you sleep. You don't learn during the lecture. You learn when you sleep after it. Sleep isn't passive. It's one of the most active things your brain does. It cleans out waste, consolidates memory, and rewires emotional patterns. Protect your sleep like your life depends on it, because it does. You are not stuck with the brain you have today. That might sound like a bold claim, but it's backed by science and real life transformation. Every habit you repeat, every thought you think, every challenge you push through, they all leave a mark on your brain. And that's the beauty of it. Your brain is not fixed. It's constantly changing, adapting, rewiring. That process is called neuroplasticity, and it's the foundation of growth, discipline, and long-term success. Think of your brain like a garden. The thoughts you repeat are seeds. Some are useful. Focus, gratitude, discipline. Others, like fear, laziness, or self-doubt, are weeds. What grows in that garden depends on what you water every day. Most people water the wrong things. They feed distraction. They scroll for hours. They react emotionally, repeat negative thoughts, avoid effort, and wonder why they feel stuck. What they don't realize is that they are training their brain to be scattered, weak, reactive. Every time you give in to a bad habit, that neural pathway becomes stronger. Every time you avoid discomfort, your brain gets better at avoiding challenges. But here's the good news: the same mechanism that creates bad patterns can create extraordinary ones. Repetition with intention is how you rewire your mind. You can teach your brain to crave discipline, to enjoy focus, to seek out challenge. But it takes practice. Real practice. The type that's uncomfortable. The kind that requires you to show up even when you don't feel like it. Let's say you want to become more focused. In the beginning, your attention might last 10 seconds before you reach for your phone. That's fine. Stay with the task. When your mind wanders, gently pull it back. Every time you refocus, you're strengthening the circuits in your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for attention and decision making. Do this often enough, and focus becomes your default mode. Or take discipline. Let's say you want to get up early, but your body resists. Your bed feels warm. Your excuses come fast. But if you ignore the comfort and get up anyway, you just sent a message to your brain. What I want isn't as important as what I intend. Do that enough, and the pathway for discipline grows stronger. Over time, it takes less effort. That's not magic. It's biology. The most dangerous thing we tell ourselves is, I'm just not wired like that. You are. You just haven't trained it yet. No one is born with unlimited focus or unshakable confidence or endless energy. Those are built. Through repetition, stress, recovery, and feedback, your brain responds to what you do repeatedly. If you train it with purpose, it adapts with power. But here's the catch: neuroplasticity is always happening, whether you use it consciously or not. If you do nothing, if you drift through your days, if you let social media dictate your attention, if you chase comfort, your brain is still rewiring, just in the wrong direction. So the question is never, is my brain changing? The real question is, am I changing it on purpose? That's where transformation begins, not with motivation, not with talent, but with a decision to train your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. And once you start to feel that change, not just understand it, but feel it, you'll realize you're capable of far more than you imagined. The only thing that stood in your way was an untrained mind. Now, you're training it. That changes everything. Light is not just something that helps you see. It's one of the most powerful forces for controlling your brain and body. Most people underestimate how deeply light affects their mood, focus, energy, and even their sleep. But the truth is, the timing and type of light you expose yourself to every day send signals to your brain that either optimize your mental performance or throw it completely off balance. Inside your eyes, not in your vision, but deep in the retina, there are special cells that detect light and send direct messages to your brain's internal clock. That clock is located in a part of the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it's responsible for setting what's called your circadian rhythm. This is your 24-hour internal time system that controls everything from when you feel alert, when you feel sleepy, when your body releases hormones, and when your brain is most ready to learn or create. The system is powerful, but it's also fragile. If you don't align it properly with light, especially early in the day, your entire mental state can feel off. The most important action you can take is to get sunlight in your eyes within 30 to 60 minutes after waking up. This simple habit anchors circadian rhythm. It triggers a healthy spike in cortisol, not the stress type of cortisol, but the kind that promotes alertness, energy, and readiness. When this light hits your eyes at the right time, it tells your brain, the day has started, time to wake up and get going. This sets a countdown timer that helps you feel sleepy at the right time later that night. It also improves your mood, your metabolism, and your mental clarity throughout the day. Now contrast that with what most people do. They wake up, stay inside, stare at their phone, and maybe don't go outside for hours. The brain is confused. It doesn't get the light cue, so it doesn't know if it should be alert or tired. The result? Brain fog, low energy, poor focus, worse sleep that night. And it all started because they missed a simple opportunity to tell their brain what time it is. This effect of light isn't small. It's so strong that researchers have found morning light can reduce depression symptoms, improve focus in students, and increase sleep quality in adults. And you don't need hours of exposure. Just 5 to 10 minutes on a clear morning or 15 to 30 minutes if it's cloudy is enough to get the signal your brain needs. And no, artificial indoor light doesn't count. It's about 50 to 100 times too weak. You need real outdoor light, even if it's just standing on your porch or walking around the block. There's also a flip side. Just like morning light helps you wake up, late night light can ruin your sleep. When you stare at bright screens at night, especially close to bedtime, your brain gets tricked into thinking it's still daytime. That delays melatonin release, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. It pushes your clock later and makes it harder to feel tired when you should. That's why it's critical dim to the lights and reduce screen exposure about 1 to 2 hours before bed. Let your brain wind down. Let the clock stay in rhythm. If you're struggling with focus, energy, or sleep, don't look for the next supplement. Start with light. It's free. It's available every morning, and it's one of the strongest tools for controlling your brain's chemistry and rhythm. This isn't just about health. It's about performance. When your brain is aligned with the right light signals, everything works better. You think faster, feel calmer, and sleep deeper. And it all starts with a habit that takes less than 10 minutes, but can transform the other 23 hours of your day. Step outside, let the light hit your eyes, and watch how your brain responds. This is how you take control from the moment you wake up. Sleep is not just rest, it's a reset. It's one of the most powerful tools your brain has to recover, rebuild, and prepare you for the challenges of the next day. And yet, most people treat sleep like an afterthought, as if it's optional, as if it's something to squeeze in after everything else. That's a mistake. Sleep isn't passive. It's not just the body shutting down. It's an active process where your brain is doing some of its most important work. During sleep, your brain goes through complex cycles: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep. Each stage plays a different role in your mental and physical health. Deep sleep helps your body repair tissues, build muscle, and strengthen the immune system. REM sleep, on the other hand, is when your brain processes emotions, forms memories, and integrates the things you learned during the day. Without enough deep sleep, your body feels weak. Without enough REM sleep, your brain feels scattered, foggy, and emotionally unstable. One of the most important things that happens during sleep is that your brain literally cleans itself. There's a system called the glymphatic system. It activates only when you sleep. Its job is to wash away metabolic waste that builds up in your brain throughout the day. Think of it like taking out the mental trash. If you skip sleep or get poor quality sleep, that waste starts to pile up. You may not notice it after one night, but over time it affects your mood, your memory, your ability to concentrate, and even your long-term brain health. Sleep is also where neuroplasticity gets locked in. If you learn something new during the day, a skill, a mindset shift, your brain doesn't fully store that information right away. It waits. And during sleep, especially deep sleep and REM, it strengthens those connections, prunes the ones you don't need, and reorganizes your brain for better performance. So if you're trying to build better habits, improve your memory, or stay calm under pressure, sleep isn't optional. It's essential. Now here's what most people get wrong. They either don't get enough sleep or they sleep at the wrong times. Your body and brain follow a circadian rhythm, a natural 24-hour clock that's influenced by light and dark. If you go to bed too late or wake up at inconsistent times, that rhythm gets thrown off, your hormones get out of sync, your energy crashes, your mental sharpness drops. That's why one of the most effective things you do is keep a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Your brain will reward you with better focus, mood, and performance. Another critical factor is your pre-sleep routine. The hour before bed should be treated like a runway before takeoff. Dim the lights, turn off bright screens. Avoid caffeine, heavy meals, or stressful conversations. Let your brain know it's time to wind down. One of the best ways to trigger melatonin release, the hormone that helps you fall asleep, is to avoid bright artificial lights at night. Your environment should feel calm, cool, and quiet. Sleep isn't just about duration. It's about quality. And quality comes from preparation. People who consistently get 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep don't just feel better. They perform better. They make better decisions. They react faster. They learn quicker. They're more emotionally resilient. Sleep is like a secret weapon that very few people are using the right way. If you're trying to build a healthier, more focused, more successful brain, don't start with more effort. Start with better recovery. Your brain is not a machine that runs nonstop. It's an organic system that needs rhythm, restoration, and deep sleep to thrive. So take your sleep seriously. Treat it like training, because in many ways, your most important work doesn't happen when you're awake. It happens while you sleep. Movement isn't just about building muscle or burning calories. It's about sharpening your mind. The human brain was built in motion, designed to help us move through space, avoid threats, explore new environments, and adapt quickly. That connection between body and brain still exists today. When you move your body with purpose, you activate systems in your brain that enhance focus, memory, mood, and even creativity. Sitting still for too long does the opposite. It dulls your thinking, lowers your energy, and weakens your ability to concentrate. Most people separate physical health and mental health. They think one is about the gym and the other is about mindset. But in reality, they are deeply connected. A physical movement sends signals to your brain that improve blood flow, increase oxygen delivery, and release powerful chemicals like dopamine and brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. BDN acts like fertilizer for your brain. It strengthens neural connections, helps grow new brain cells, and enhances your ability to learn. Without movement, those benefits are limited. Your brain starts to slow down, not because you're lazy, but because it's not getting the stimulation it needs. You don't need extreme workouts to activate these effects. Even simple, consistent movement has a major impact. A brisk 20-minute walk can immediately elevate your mood, increase alertness, and improve problem solving. Studies show that people who move regularly, whether it's walking, jogging, stretching, or strength training, perform better on memory tests and have a lower risk of anxiety and depression. The brain responds to movement by becoming more adaptable and more resilient and more efficient. There's also a timing benefit. Movement early in the day sets the tone for your brain's performance. When you move shortly after waking up, even just a walk or a light stretch, you signal to your brain that it's time to be alert and focused. Your body heats up, your blood starts flowing, and your nervous system engages. This primes your brain to handle tasks more effectively throughout the day. On the other hand, if you spend the first part of your day sitting, scrolling, or staying still, you miss that opportunity to activate your full mental potential. Movement also helps regulate stress. When you're under pressure, your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline. These are useful in small amounts, but if they stay elevated, they can make you feel anxious, overwhelmed, or mentally fatigued. Exercise acts like a reset button. It burns off excess stress hormones and replaces them with endorphins and other mood-stabilizing chemicals. That's why even after a hard day, a short workout or walk can shift your mindset completely. You think clear, you feel more in control. Another powerful effect of movement is improved focus. When you engage in physical activity, you train your brain to stay present. Think about when you lift weights or go for a run. Your mind isn't wandering the way it does when you're sitting at a desk. You're in the moment. You're connected to your breath, your steps, your body. That state of presence carries over into your daily life. The more often you practice it through movement, the easier it becomes to focus during work, study, or challenging conversations. Movement also boosts creativity. Some of the best ideas don't come while you're staring at a screen. They come while you're walking, stretching, or moving through nature. That's because movement shifts your brain into a more relaxed but alert state. Exactly the condition where creative thoughts emerge. So if you're stuck on a problem or trying to come up with a new idea, don't just sit there, move. Let your brain and body work together. The bottom line is this: motion creates emotion. It creates clarity. It creates discipline. Your brain is designed to move. And when you honor that design, it rewards you with better thinking, better feeling, and better performance. You don't need a perfect workout plan. You just need to start moving daily, deliberately, and with purpose. The sharper brain you're chasing isn't in a book or a pill or a motivational quote. It's in your own body, waiting to be activated through movement. What you focus on, you become. This isn't just a motivational phrase. It's a biological fact. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on what you pay attention to. Whatever captures your focus repeatedly begins to shape your thoughts, your emotions, your identity, and even your future actions. Attention is not neutral. It's the steering wheel of your mind, and wherever you direct it, that's the direction your life begins to move. Inside your brain, attention works like a spotlight. It filters what matters from what doesn't. Out of the thousands of things happening around you every second, your attention decides what to highlight and what to ignore. The more you shine that light on certain thoughts, behaviors, or emotions, the stronger those neural pathways become. This is called experience-dependent plasticity. Your brain literally changes in response to where you place your attention. So if you constantly focus on fear, negativity, or self-doubt, those patterns get reinforced. But if you focus on growth, solutions, and progress, your brain starts to strengthen those instead. Think of it like the CO. Your focus is like watering a plant. Whatever you water grows. If you constantly give attention to problems, drama, or comparison, those things take root in your mind. You begin to see the world through that lens. But if you train yourself to focus on learning, gratitude, effort, or improvement, your perception and your reality begin to shift. It's not about ignoring the hard things. It's about choosing what gets the most of your mental energy. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving away their focus for free. Social media, endless notifications, mindless scrolling, they all steal your attention and scatter your thoughts. The modern world is built to hijack your brain's reward system, pulling you in 100 directions. Over time, this fragments your thinking and makes it harder to concentrate on anything meaningful. That's not a personal weakness. It's a product of distraction addiction, but it can be reversed. You can train your attention just like a muscle. The more you practice controlling it, the stronger it becomes. Start by doing one thing at a time. When you're working, only work. When you're talking to someone, fully listen. When you're reading, just read. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, you're doing a mental rep, building your ability to concentrate. Over time, that training leads to deeper focus, clearer thinking, and better decisions. Another important part of focus is mental framing. The questions you ask yourself shape what your brain looks for. If you constantly ask, why am I failing? Your mind will find reasons to confirm that. But if you shift the question to, what can I learn from this? Or, what's one small step I can take right now? Your brain starts searching for answers that empower you. Focus isn't just about what you pay attention to. It's about how you interpret what you're seeing. Visualization is another powerful tool. When you visualize success, discipline, or resilience, and you do it with emotion and intention, you engage the same brain circuits you would use to actually perform those actions. That rehearsal strengthens the neural wiring for success before it even happens. Athletes use this. Leaders use this. You can use this. But it starts with intention. You have to direct your focus on purpose. The truth is, your life moves in the direction of your dominant thoughts, not your wishes, not your goals. Your thoughts are trained by focus. So protect your attention like it's your most valuable resource, because it is. Start your day by choosing what to focus on. End your day by reviewing what you focused on. Notice the patterns. Adjust where needed. You are not what happens to you. You are what you repeatedly focus on. And with consistent training, you can teach your brain to lock onto clarity, purpose, and growth, even when everything around you is chaotic. That's not just mindset. That's neuroscience in action. And it's available to you right now. Human connection is not just emotional. It's neurological. Your brain is wired for social interaction in ways that directly impact your health, your cognitive function, and even your longevity. In fact, isolation is one of the most harmful conditions for the human brain. People who lack meaningful relationships are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, memory decline, and even physical illness. But when you cultivate deep, healthy relationships, your brain gets access to one of its most powerful forms of nourishment-y connection. At the biological level, social interaction regulates your nervous system. When you engage in a warm conversation, share laughter, or feel understood by another person, your brain releases chemicals like oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine. These chemicals calm your stress response, boost your mood, and create a sense of safety and trust. This isn't just about feeling good. These neurochemicals improve memory, sharpen focus, and strengthen your immune system. That's the power of authentic connection. It brings your brain into a balanced, resilient state. There's a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex responsible for decision-making, empathy, and emotional regulation. It develops and functions best in an environment of social interaction. When you're in consistent contact with people who challenge you, support you, and care about your well-being, your prefrontal cortex becomes stronger. This means you're more capable of handling stress, thinking clearly under pressure, and making thoughtful decisions. That's why isolation doesn't just make you feel lonely. It weakens critical parts of your brain. And it's not about having a huge circle. The quality of your relationships matters far more than the quantity. Even a few genuine connections where you feel seen, heard, and valued can dramatically improve your brain function. Meaningful conversations stimulate neural activity. They make you reflect, consider new ideas, and form deeper memories. And when you talk about your goals or share your struggles with someone who listens with empathy, your brain processes those experiences more effectively. It becomes easier to find solutions, spot patterns, and move forward. Another layer of connection that's often overlooked is contribution. When you help someone, offer encouragement, or show up for a friend, your brain enters a powerful state. Acts of service release oxytocin, not only in the person receiving help, but in you as well. This feedback loop builds stronger bonds and reinforces feelings of purpose. Purpose isn't something you just find. It's something you build moment by moment through how you interact with others. It's also important to understand that relationships aren't just emotional. They're energetic. The people you surround yourself with influence your mood, your mindset, your behavior, and even your brain chemistry. That's why you have to be intentional about your environment. Spend time with people who challenge to grow, who believe in your potential, who don't drain your energy, but increase your drive. These relationships activate the parts of your brain responsible for learning, motivation, and focus. And connection isn't limited to other people. Your connection to something greater than yourself, whether it's your faith, your values, your community, or your mission, gives your brain a sense of meaning. Meaning protects the brain against stress and disorder. It provides a structure, a direction, and a reason to endure discomfort in pursuit of something higher. A brain with a sense of meaning is harder to break. In today's world, it's easy to feel alone even while being constantly connected online. But digital likes and shallow interactions don't feed your brain the way real human connection does. It takes effort. You have to be present. You have to listen, but you have to open up. But the reward is worth it. Every real conversation, every moment of shared understanding, every act of kindness, it all strengthens your brain in ways no supplement or tool ever could. You want a healthy, high-performing, focused brain. Start by building better relationships. Talk to people face to face. Ask better questions. Be curious. Be honest. Surround yourself with those who bring you back to what matters. Because in the end, your brain was never meant to go it alone. It was built for connection, and it thrives on it